I'll retweet it. Hey, it's your girl Madison Chase, and we are talking HBO Insecure episode 7, real as flippity flip flip flop. And who do we have in the studio? Is it Oprah? Is it Ava DuVernay? Is it Issa Rae? Keep watching, you'll find out. Boop.
It's insecure.
Okay, so, okay, wait, the song is coming. Did I give it away? I don't think I gave it away.
That it's not Oprah or Ava DuVernay.
Or Issa.
It could
I
be.
would guess. I think I would guess.
You would guess you.
I would guess me.
Breaking news, ladies.
What happened?
Oh, James, you know, start over. You know, we was trying to get Crunk. We was trying to get Crunk for, you know, the little Drake.
For the Drake. Since that's what the ladies like. And
Child's play.
Ladies love cool
We can do that.
Drake.
But
We said bounce that.
Okay.
Hey.
Bounce that. Like, well,
Hey.
Hey, hey, hey,
Bounce that,
hey.
like, we can't get too. You know, we can't get too.
Good job, Cortez, for bringing in the music without no music. I like the improvisation. That's fantastic. So, I guess I ruined the surprise, but I feel like you're Oprah to me. Like you're Oprah. Like you're the Oprah of web series.
thank you.
You
okay,
are.
I will take
Right.
it. I will claim. I will embrace that.
Okay, you're gonna be sitting
What an
outside.
honor.
You're gonna be sitting outside with Oprah in her backyard on her little.
Pretty
What is
much.
it? Soulful Sundays. What it is?
Soulful
Sunday.
It's that
Sunday. Super
Okay.
Sunday.
Speak that into existence.
Absolutely.
Okay, I would not
already
be
there.
mad. I would be all up in Oprah's kitchen. I
Oprah
just
gonna
feel
be
like
like
she has a bomb snack pantry. What I care about.
Bread.
Yes, bread for everyone.
Just take some bread.
I would happily take some bread.
With the butter, though. You got to get the butter.
I know that's right.
Good butter.
Thank you for being here. You said.
Thank you guys for having me and for doing this show.
So excited.
We're very excited. So before we jump into it, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Madison Chase. You can find me at Madison Chase Fit on Twitter.
Hi. Oops, sorry. Hi, I'm Paula Bryant Ellis, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter, P. Bryant Ellis.
Hey, Paula.
Cortez.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I'm back.
Yay!
So your comments. I'm back. But anyways, Cortez G West. You can find me on all social media handles as that, Cortez G West. And I have the beautiful
Oriana Leo over here. You can find me on Instagram at Oriana Leo, Twitter at Miss Oriana Leo.
Okay, and last but not least.
Me, what do I look and say it? Issa Rae. You can find me everywhere at Issa Rae. ISSARE.
Keep it simple, across
That's
the
me.
board.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking
Pretty
about.
much. Okay, so now you have to do the honors of the faux Wendy Williams shoe cam.
The shoe cam.
Oh,
shoe
Lord.
cam situation.
Chucks all day. Chucks all day.
Yes.
Chucks on
You
my
can't
feet.
go wrong with Chucks. Chucks and
No.
K-Swiss, the
Love 'em.
superstar shell toes. You can't go with them.
I have big feet, so K-Swiss always used to like elongate them. Chucks do that, but in a way that I'm comfortable
Comfortable,
with.
yeah. Really?
But K-Swiss, nah. Everybody used to look so cool.
Not
with
K-Swiss.
Yeah.
Is it I mean, not K-Swiss, I'm sorry.
What are you talking
Adidas.
about?
Oh, Adidas.
Adidas.
Yes,
Yeah, with the
yes.
stripes
Adidas.
on the
That's my second.
I said
yeah.
shell toes, and I was
Yes.
like, wait, why am I saying K-Swiss?
K-Swiss, you did take it back. I was like, I haven't seen them in a minute, but I wasn't gonna put you out like that.
They're rocking FUBUs now, so hey, if FUBU can come back,
Fubu's back. Filas. Filas have made a comeback.
What's
My
up
mind
with
is
you,
just-
man?
I'll be back.
You're mine. Yeah. Take a break. Take a break.
I think I need a reboot. Jesus.
You got to reboot it.
Wow, I
Cortez?
have a reboot.
Okay. Okay, so this episode is called The Realest Real of, like,
Real
yes.
as real as that.
It was
Real
real.
AF.
Yes.
It was real.
It was
And-
real.
It was real.
I have my top 3 moments of the realest moments.
Okay.
So,
Oh.
the
That's
top,
real.
Hey, if Jay can walk out,
JK walked out.
He sure did.
he really had to use the restroom.
He just got up, walked right on out the door. We didn't know what to do. We were all like,
We were all like, is he gone?
is he coming back?
Hilarious.
Yeah, he
Horrible.
really did.
Son?
I know. He was like, my mama on this
Just walk
show.
out on my show, son.
I think we were revealing some intimate things too, right? Left, right?
Is that what it? Yes.
Yeah.
That was what it was. Okay, so my top realest moment you guys can share with. I did like the top 3. So I say Issa and Molly was like the realest moment.
Which one?
Yeah,
Which
the
part?
part where Molly
trailer.
was near the trailer, near the catering.
Yeah.
And you had like that real conversation where you can't possibly take some of that stuff back. And it's out there. So that
happens.
was So what do you guys think? What do you think was like the realest moment? That's the realest moment for me.
for me, when I say realist, I'm gonna say the part when Issa was actually talking to Molly and saying like, pretty much in between the lines, "Girl, you need counseling."
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that was like, that's real.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
And you can tell your character was uncomfortable. Like you were trying to laugh it out, like, yeah, girl.
Yeah, because it worked for Crystal, maybe it can work for you.
Yeah.
But I love you. I just want the best for you. Yeah.
I like the way when you looked at her and you're like, did she say it was working for her?
Right.
That was a great moment. That was a really great
What
moment.
about you?
I think the realist was with Lawrence.
Really?
I
Which
mean,
one?
that moment of like, get the F out of my way.
Oh,
like,
that,
that was so real. And we've all been there, I think, in that of like, you know, I want more time with you. I want more space with you. I want to explain. And the other person has no desire to hear you out. And that moment of like, get out of my way. I will do whatever I can to move you. Real AF.
Another one for me would be when Lawrence was talking to Daniel.
Oh yes, that was like
that's so
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That's like me. I'm like, for real. So hey, so how you? I'm not gonna like.
You're a
go in.
detective?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
But you don't want to look stupid either.
Exactly.
If you're, you know, you're
I think that would. I think all of them are great moments, but the Lawrence Daniel outside might be the most powerful because it had the least amount of words.
Yes.
Right. It
Yes.
was.
And they were
He knew
men.
at that moment.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knew at that moment what
Yeah.
had happened, and
Yeah.
now he was looking for Issa to confirm. Right.
Right.
He knew what he had to do. Yeah.
What about you, Issa?
What the most real moment for me was, I think definitely the ending. Like that was the most, that scene still affects me just because, you know, like in acting it out, it was like emotionally traumatic. We had to do like 8 or 10 takes. And it was just like, you're exhausted and you're crying every time. And Jay is such a great guy, like on set, he's so much fun and he's, you know, just always friendly, always, you know,
You gotta
in
say that because his mom is
conversation.
here.
No, not even. That helps too. But like before the scene, he did not talk to me, and it wasn't like I think he was getting into the zone,
character.
but I think it was you know, and I had to get into mine, but just not feeling like he was just so great in that scene, and it felt like I had really hurt him. Like, did I do something to you for real? So it was just like that really.
Well, he
felt
went.
real.
His performance was really compelling, but there was that moment in his eye, like that he lost it.
Yeah.
And like that, I was like almost scared for her in that moment of like he's so hurt and betrayed, and if she really doesn't get out of his way, like what's gonna happen? Not that he'd be violent, but he's really snapped.
Yeah.
He's really lost it. He's really been broken.
I've seen him prepare for a scene like that before and watch him kind of go in that moment and, you know, doing what he has to do to distance himself, that's what he was doing, right? To get into that character. And you saw it in him. You really saw him connect with the pain that Lawrence really would be feeling in that instant. I thought he did a great job bringing that home.
So how many times he knocked over the table?
He knocked out thank God. After a while, they were like, okay, we're just going to take out the table. But yeah, the table would go shout out to that table.
I know.
That table took
It stayed together.
all the abuse.
It wasn't IKEA there.
We had like one time, or maybe we had one where I feel like it did break. And then they just had to say, but I don't know. We had backup tables. For
And
sure.
that's so
good.
tough on you guys, because I mean, to your point of like having to do that 7 or 8 times. You know, you got your wide, then you got to do his coverage, your coverage. That is so amazing to stay in that moment.
At the end, it was during my close-up, because they started with the wide, so it was like all the tears come out then. By the very end, I was like, bro, I don't have no more tears.
Is it real? Is it real?
Man, it was just, and I'm not a crier. So like all my tears were kind of reserved for that, where it just is like, okay, I have to tap into actually. You know,
Had you had to do a moment like that before? Have you ever had a scene like that before?
In a play a very long time ago, like my freshman year of college, I was in a play where you had to cry on cue every night, but that was the extent of it. Since then, I hadn't really had an emotional scene like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know what else I thought was really cool?
What's that?
It was like during the setup of the event, and Paula and I laughed at it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we gotta talk about that.
and the
one.
dude was like asking her a question, and she just went off.
The white guy.
When he's talking about
Black Beverly Hills.
That's some real.
That
So I
is
grew up in that
real.
neighborhood, right? And now it's extremely gentrified.
This is what people say on like Access Hollywood.
What?
It's the Black Beverly Hills. Like it's not
it came out of nowhere, and it's not. It's black middle class people and upper middle class people for the most part, but it's a neighborhood that white people used to live in.
Yeah.
And of course, white flight happened, and then black people came and took ownership of this neighborhood, and now white people are rediscovering it. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe these homes are here.
Yep.
And the area of Crenshaw and
LA Rams, soon to be the
I
LA
mean, yeah,
Rams.
that
It is the
Inglewood,
stadium.
but like Crenshaw itself is like getting like a Whole Foods.
Oh.
A lot of businesses are leaving and they're for lease because of this railroad that's coming through that's going to connect. the
How's your
city.
neighborhood changed?
My neighborhood has, it's gotten more diverse.
Yeah.
I like how you say that. It kind of goes up a little bit.
Yeah,
Like, it's got more diverse.
You gave her that Molly face when Molly talked to Rashida. I'm just trying to help you.
I'm just trying to help.
But yeah, I think that's an interesting topic because typically we don't see this kind of realness when you're talking about gentrification. And I noticed you showed Simply Wholesome.
Yeah.
So just showing all of these iconic places, and even the place that you were trying on clothes that's
a
near
place right next to
Simply Wholesome.
Yeah.
Like that's my little stomping ground.
Oh, word.
Yeah, Simply Wholesome and Patty. Shout out
Y'all,
to
the
Simply
Patty.
Wholesome. Yeah.
Shout
I
out
was
to
just
the
there last week.
right. And
And
shout out
stuff
to
I eat.
Yeah,
yeah.
stuff I eat is
I was gonna say that. Shout out to all the locations you guys filmed in. Like for real. Like
Yeah.
definitely put.
Every episode, we're
authentic.
talking about how you show Inglewood and the community in such a great, positive light, and that has not been done before. So it's great to see. We applaud you for that.
I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
it's very real. As
Yes.
you
It
said,
is.
you guys have
Yeah.
been there. It's not this like downtrodden place.
Right.
It's a beautiful area.
So we had Ben in the studio.
Yes.
He's one of the writers, and he kind of gave us a little bit about Ben in the room as you guys were writing this show.
Yeah.
Ben Corey.
You put us in the room when you were there. Like I really want to know like more.
Oh man, I love the writer's room process is my favorite part
Yeah.
because you're crafting the stories and everybody. I said that everybody in the room has had a piece of their life, a
Yeah.
more so a chunk like in the show because everybody's sharing, everybody's super open. We all genuinely like each other, and it just and then sometimes it goes down like with War. It's like one of our writers, Dana, she's also a co-EP. She introduced Nerf guns. Actually, Prentice introduced Nerf guns. He just randomly brought like.
But when you said war, you mean war.
We mean War. Right? There's like a video, a trailer that I recorded of us going to war. That
wow.
it gets
That's funny.
real.
Wow.
But it's a great way to like let off some steam. We made new teams just recently. We were starting the writers' room again, and that kind of everybody's like doesn't trust each other to that end because it's like I just shot you last time, but you on my team. But
Wow.
it's really fun. It's just
Wow.
it's a great tight knit group.
So I'm now on the league. They are
Oh, you're on the league.
Yeah.
That's so
They're accepting my
funny.
invitation.
Like, we should have got it.
I'm on the league, so I have to wait a little bit longer so I can invite Madison.
I was like, hello.
She was like, that didn't take long.
Oh my God.
It
That
did.
was
I
like
don't know
a
why.
30-minute discussion when Ben was here.
Oh my God.
I'm curious.
That almost divided the room.
Really?
One of our writers like signed up first and then watched as everybody else got accepted before her.
Oh my God.
She was not happy with that. And then she got like on a wait list and
Yep.
there were still 100,000 people ahead of her. And so she was like, F this. And eventually she got accepted, so it was all
Okay, good. Because when I got accepted, I was like, oh. Popping the color and stuff. I was like, oh. Because that email that you get is they set it up real nice. Like, oh, okay, thank you, congratulations. Like, oh, okay.
Pop selling us on
Yeah.
He bragging.
I know.
He
I
wasn't
know.
be known. I'm on the league. I'm on the league.
I love the moment when they're setting up when the girl comes to Issa with the flowers and says, Issa, where do these go?
Oh,
You know where they go.
That was my favorite
Lazy
moment.
Patricia.
Yes. I was like, boss, I loved it. I was like, tell her.
I don't know who directed that, but that was because your face just to turn around was like a meme.
Kevin
It was like,
It was good.
you know where they go.
The entire episode was done so well.
That's Kevin Bray. Shout out to him. He
Yeah.
also directed episode 4 with the
Okay.
Mira Daniels scene, and he's outstanding. He's great. We're definitely trying to bring him back for season 2.
Yeah, he was amazing.
One of the things that we talk about is there is a lot of profanity in the show, right?
There is.
But I love that your sex scenes are still very you keep your bra and your
Modest.
underwear. They're very
Modest,
modest. We
yeah.
love.
We
I mean,
love
it
that.
just it's
On the
such
women's side?
On the women's side, yes.
Yes.
Please keep that.
Because there's always, we see these scenes of women. It's okay, Cortez. We see, we always see women and it's always full frontal. And there was just something so special about that, I will tell you, when we were watching. It was like, wow, this was such a great way to show that. We'd never seen that before.
And they're not sexy panties. They're like,
those are the
simple.
Rite Aid
Yeah. Clown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were those the Rite Aid panties?
Those were not the Dang, Paula. Can they behave? Can they be like Target at least?
Can it be like comfort fit?
Jeez, yeah.
Jeez.
I love it.
What was one of the best episodes feminine for you?
The best
One
episodes
of the
to
best.
film?
Yeah.
I really loved filming episode 3 with the party scene, even though the house was mad cold. But like any episode, and episode 8 is actually it was really fun because
Really?
we're in Malibu for that episode,
Okay.
and the 4 girls, the 4 friends are together, so it was just fun to kind of just be out there and be around each other. It was a lot of fun.
So is
Now-
rapping one of, I'm sorry,
No, go
Madison,
ahead.
is rapping one of your characters that you do as a character, or did you really rap? Previous experience with that.
I am not a rapper, I will say that, but I do rap when
Did a good job.
I have a couple drinks in my system. In high school, actually, absent of drinks, my little brother and I had a Thanksgiving where we just downloaded a bunch of instrumentals off of Napster, and I don't know what. Like, we had the little headphones as recorders, and we started, like, freestyling over beats. And it was like, we had our family listen to it, and it was just a stupid raps. But he ended up taking it seriously and got really good. And I always just thought it was fun. And using an awkward black girl as a device, obviously, to, like, I just thought it was funny for this passive-aggressive person to have these gangster raps and things that she really wishes she could say.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to lose that as a device and took it to Insecure. But in real life, no.
Do we have the pleasure of having one of the raps right now?
No, I'm not a rapper.
You have to give her a couple
one
drinks
of the raps.
first.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
One of the raps from
Excuse him.
from the show.
I love your
You gonna take
brother's
your
rap
throne
from
tonight?
Let's have that one.
What is it? What's
You
that
gonna
one?
take your
Oh,
phone
do
tonight?
you want your man or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know your plans?
Hey.
Or not? You gonna go back home?
Oh,
or
my
not?
God.
Hey,
You gonna
hey,
claim your
hey,
throne or not?
hey.
Is you Khaleesi or that other bitch? Still don't know her name. Still don't know her. I'm on Mariah Carey. I don't know her.
I don't know. Oh, she was so shady
She
for
was
that.
so shady.
Like, girl, you know who
I
J-Lo
still don't know.
is.
Right.
Mariah.
It's Mariah. She's on fire. Okay,
Bars.
right? That was good, right? Right. Okay, so speaking of awkward black girl, we got to go back to awkward black girl because I noticed you changed a couple of things with Insecure.
A
like,
lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of great things, like your relationship with Sujata's character was your best friend, and now she's kind of like an arch enemy. And then you had Jay, and then the white Jay.
Oh, yeah.
And so I saw kind of when Molly was talking to Justin, I was like, oh, is there going to be like an interracial thing happening in the future?
Molly
So
blocked her last name.
She
with that.
did.
Ivan is so cute. Justin,
He
his real name
is.
is Ivan, but he's so cute.
Yeah,
he's
he
very
was
cute.
Just he was coming up to assist
He
her. He
was.
was showing game. I do have like a theory about Black women and Asian
please.
men.
And black women and others. Like, I feel
And
like.
well, Asian men specifically.
Okay, what's your theory? I want to hear.
So in the statistics like of dating apps, Black women are at the bottom, and
Yeah.
and Asian men are the least desired.
Interesting.
So it's like there's so
kind
many
of-
great qualities in both. So it's like y'all should. I mean, actually, I said it in jest, like we might as well get together, man. But there are actually like internet meetups of like Black women and Asian men, and
Asian
they
men. Oh, that's
post
good to
pictures of
know.
so many relationships that are just out there. But it's just like, and then their babies are really cute. Asian babies are really cute.
With small eyes.
Yeah.
You said with small eyes.
Yeah.
Hysterical. I don't know where that came from. Small eyes? What? So your brother's music, I think it was episode 5 when you were. He was actually in the studio, and that's actually a real song now. Cause I
Yeah,
said,
he was
okay.
in the pilot and he with a real song, Committed. I love that song. And then in episode 5, he had his other song where he had to like make it whack.
Yes.
So he was a little salty about that. Just like, I don't want people to know that it's not whack. But he did it and it sounded whack. So props to him
It was
on
good.
being whack,
Yes.
brother. But yeah, he's a really great artist. He's a producer too. And, I'm just a fan of his work.
And
general.
you're also a fan of Raphael Sadiq
Yeah.
and Solange. So how did Solange get on board? Because I think she's like the dopest.
The absolute dopest.
Dopest.
So Melina Matsoukas, who's our director, executive producer, is best friends with Solange, and she was talking about how Solange was looking to get into like music supervision,
wow.
and so she was like, I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So we actually insulted her and had her come in and do an interview with us just to be like, why do you want the job?
Oh, gosh.
Because we really
Just
want
to
to know why.
gauge, but also just to like meet her
Right.
before we do it.
Right.
And she really took it like a job, and she started telling us about like recording her album, and she brought up the Master P thing. And I remember thinking at the time, like, why is Master P in this? But she was just like, we had a long conversation, and
It connects.
he contributed, and it connected beautifully in
Yes.
the album.
Mhm.
But she just was amazing in terms of contributing. Her lens, and we were very specific about the fact that we wanted to have an LA sound, and we wanted to have up and coming artists to be a part of it. And she also introduced us to Raphael Sadiq, who she collaborated with on the album.
And
on
his
her album
studio
as
is in Burbank.
well.
Here,
Yeah,
so,
I came up here to record a couple,
Yeah.
to record the last song I did for episode 5.
Okay.
We made a full version of it.
So how did Raphael get involved?
He was connected with Solange. He
Oh,
was working on her
okay.
album, and he was doing music composition. He had done underground as well.
Okay.
And so he had experience, and then same thing. He was always just trying to get a feel for the show, constantly asking questions. And every piece of score I want like as a song.
Yes.
He kills it.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like every song, I'm like, who sings that? Like, I want to know
It's
who
just
the
instrumental.
artist is.
Yeah.
So, do you see in the future that Insecure will actually have like a playlist, kind of like Empire? I think they kind of do the same thing.
So we have playlists that come out after every episode on
Okay.
Spotify,
and
yeah.
then we're definitely doing a soundtrack.
You
That's
should.
happening.
Oh, that's gonna be
It's
awesome.
happening.
So
We're working
It's
on that right now.
broken pussy.
We'll be on the soundtrack. You guys heard it here first.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I'm gonna be
going-
playing that.
That is exclusive.
That's gonna be my diss track to somebody I don't like.
What is that?
Breaking exclusive.
Oh, exclusive.
But I love,
Oh,
I love
you got
how,
that right. That was BHL exclusive. Yeah.
We got it.
I know. That was like 5 seconds later.
I love that how Los Angeles has been. I love
sorry.
how LA has been woven in, and the music. Like, you have these extra characters or layers that makes the show so much richer
Thank
than
you.
than everything else out there that just is like rubber stamp. Everything looks the same.
Yeah.
I wanted to know about your particular storytelling style and how that applies to you now as also an entrepreneur and kind of brand builder, if you will. I mean, you're telling stories, but now you're really coming up.
Yeah.
And it seems like you've got a vision and values that sort of determine the stories you tell, how you tell them, and where you're going. And I'm wondering if you could kind of elaborate on that a little
Ooh,
bit.
yeah. I mean, it comes with just having a genuine love for the places that I grew up, and the places that house the people that I love, and the lens through which I view them and they view them, combining that. And Prentice Penny, our showrunner, also we grew up in the same neighborhood in Windsor Hills and Baldwin Hills, and we both live in Inglewood now. So we both have an appreciation of both areas and just wanting to highlight that in the best way possible. And in my own personal businesses, like our offices are in Inglewood. We're trying to, for season 2, bring our writers' room to Inglewood just so we can be housed and centrally located, and just so our writers can also just be there. So you're kind of experiencing the city in the same way that anybody else would, and you have stories that are born out of that. And I think it's just like, I really consider the show a mirror to an extent. Obviously, it's through my lens, but I picture myself holding up the mirror and looking at the same time. And in the storylines, we're not trying to make like statements. We're just, because life isn't a statement. It's just a series of questions. It's a series of events that you try to piece together and that you discuss and you figure out. And so, to me, having someone who is so visually astute in Melina Matsoukas in terms of like making images come to life and just be so like beautiful and abstract at the same time, just felt like the perfect companionship to this piece.
Speaking of working with people, I actually love the fact that you brought your friends that are good at what they do with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ben even was saying, like, hey, he's got a text, like, hey, you want to write on this show? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that, because I believe that when you work with someone that's actually is good at what they do, the project has no it's just gonna be good, regardless. So definitely appreciate you for like bringing the people that you know are good at what they do.
I just love passionate people, and I remember where like they came with me when I was just like had an idea, and so for me it's like let's grow together. I was watching an interview that Amy Aniobi just did today, and she's one of our writers and a producer on the show, and she was talking about how people should really. People always try to like network up, and they should network across. And I strongly believe in like using the resources that you have, using the people that you have, and bringing and growing together and bringing them with you, and then doing the same thing and lifting as you climb. I'm a big proponent of that because that's the only way to grow. And then you feel sad. You're happy with the people that you work with, and you know they're there for the right reasons. And,
no motive.
I love that. Yeah, no motive.
And then speaking of that too, Issa, I noticed that you have a lot of young creators who wouldn't have gotten opportunities. Like you have new actors on your show that have never been on a show before. You also have young writers that are in your writer's room as well. So speak to that when it comes to other creators who feel like, oh, I'm not there yet, so I can't necessarily help someone behind me or pass it on or sow a seed for someone else.
You're always there. It really just is up to you, because I think in terms of like there's so many spots, and we are so conditioned to be like there's only one spot, so I gotta take it, and nobody's going, and it's just that's not how it works. And I find that so many people are willing to be like to shout you out and to promote your thing, and just it shouldn't be competitive at all. And so I'm just a firm believer in. I'm a fan, and I want you to succeed because I want to see different stories out there, and I want to watch good stuff. And there's room for good stuff. There's so many opportunities.
It really is. It really is. But back to the episode. I really want to know like the whole thing about the mistake with Daniel, and then having to come home and deal with that with Lawrence. That's real.
Ooh,
like,
is it?
That's
really?
real.
So you're gonna put that on your dating application.
I know.
Don't put that on there. Yes.
No, I was gonna delete it. Like to me, that was a very, very real moment, because it's like, would you really walk into the house after just doing a mistake and then come into the house and just.
But I think to her character, because she's very passive aggressive, so she thought about. She likes to avoid stuff. You see that in all of her relationships. You see that with Molly. You see that with the Molly's fake friends. Like you see that she's kind of very passive aggressive in this kind of
until her back is against the wall, and then once you back her into a corner, that aggressive part comes out, or she's forced to kind of say what's on her mind. But I think in that situation, she envisioned something. She was like, if I tell the truth, it's going to be the worst case scenario. Even though that's not even in his character, she was like, this is going to happen to me. So I'm justified for not telling the truth. There is a victim mentality that Daniel calls her out about, even in this episode.
Well, the use of the word mistake.
Yeah.
How that gets thrown back at her. By Lawrence of like, you did this to us over a mistake.
Like, I thought it was good.
That
was a powerful
brilliant. That was really brilliant.
I let her reset back.
It was it a mistake? That really got me thinking of like, I don't know if it was for her.
I think she set out to become this new, different person, as she said, the person that's more active. And I think
she says that in the dressing room. I like who I'm becoming.
I like who I'm becoming now. But even in the beginning, like that was her mission. She was tired of just letting life happen to her. And then she started making these decisions. And what she didn't understand is that a lot of these decisions may have consequences. And, there's a way of living in which you're like, I'm just going to see what works. I'm just going to do whatever I want and see how that impact. You're not thinking about how that might impact people. And I think she learned too late, like, this has a consequence. And
because it was powerful, right? She comes home and she finds that he has gotten the video down. I thought that was a great.
Oh my goodness!
And the fact that she was crying, I was like, now, who directed that? Who did it? That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was really
something
awesome.
that a passive aggressive person would do, just kind of like internalizing. I just did this to him, and look what he
just did.
Look what I got at home.
And the fact that he was the tech guy.
Yep.
And she never even thought to
go to
ask
him.
I thought that was so powerful, right?
But it also goes to an excuse. Like she wanted an excuse to see Daniel again.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that happened on that show that was like, okay, that could not have been written in there. like when Jared came and spoke to you for the first time, and we've been doing that the whole.
I know. That was so good. That was so good.
That had to come like out of like I'm pretty sure you were just like
The action moment. No, we wrote that. Obviously he would miss the hand, but what I think I did a few different like playoff things.
Really?
Like there was a lot of different. So we just chose
That was
the
my-
body.
that was a good one.
That was a good
like-
one. It's one of our favorites.
That was a good part. Yes, yeah.
One of the other things that I love, and I think Melina might have directed this episode, the couch montage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
She
God.
directed
And the
mess
music
out
with
of
that montage.
Yeah, that was we switched that music out. That was a Solange selection. I
beautiful.
love that song
Yeah.
so much.
Beautiful.
Because we were choosing between a couple of them, and I felt like we could do better. And she gave this song, and it was just perfect. And Melina directed the hell out of that. That was,
I feel like we're going to start to see a lot of shows with couch montages.
it just tells so much of the story, and you get a
it
sense
did.
of their relationship,
Yeah.
where they came from, and it really makes you sympathize with Lawrence and
It
see where he
did.
was coming from, and to realize like he was depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He fell into a rut.
So what do we think about this moment where he has the interview, he gets the job, they offer him a job on the spot, and he backtracks for a
Yeah.
second?
I was scared for you.
I was
brother.
really scared
I
for
was
that
scared for
too.
Lawrence, but at the same time, just to see Issa, like, okay, let me figure out a way to get this
Yeah.
dude. No, you're just not gonna spoil this moment right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about that because on one hand I understand Lawrence.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, you're off the ground and you're like, I could do this better. I'm remotivated. I have my second win. I've definitely
Yeah.
been there, and
Yeah.
you kind of forget like where you just were,
Right.
Yeah.
and you're just like you're so confident in
Yeah.
yourself. And I think in Issa's shoes, she's like, I know where that place is. We did this.
We were just there.
already.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're growing. Like I forgot that I messed up myself, but I just want us to be on a good path. Like you're doing great right now. Why would you leave? And you can still do this on the side.
At the same
you know?
time.
I thought it was a mirror moment for him. Like, I thought that was his mirror moment.
In what sense?
In that he, after the interview, he was so pumped up,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Because that's what Issa would do. She'd get in the mirror and she'd figure it out and she'd get
Oh,
her
yeah.
confidence, right? And to me, him having this great interview, they offered him the job, and it really gave him a chance to benchmark himself
Right.
on where his app was. And it was like his mirror moment. He got his confidence back, and he was feeling good about it. And he threw it out to Issa, and she was
Shut it down.
yeah, she just went, I'm not gonna go here. But Tasha, the bank teller.
That's the difference.
Yeah, right.
But
we
then
were
there's
talking
also
about that.
Tasha hasn't been through what Issa's been through with
Right,
him either. So
right.
it's also she
Grass
sees
always
this
looks
man-
greener on the other side.
She's a man with potential.
Yes.
Who
Doing it.
has great ideas,
Yeah.
and she's gonna promote. That sounds great.
Oh, we gave her such a hard time. It was so much
I
fun
did
with her
not.
on the show. Oh, it was so much fun.
did.
Hilarious.
We did.
Well, I
I
definitely
love
want to
that.
say on behalf of all the black men to you and the team, thank you for not putting a certain label on black men. Because
man.
in this whole entire, every episode, there are men like Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? There are women like Issa. And not every black man is doing, something bad on the side or whatever the case may be, or if they're a bum doesn't mean they don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? It's like they really want to, because you can tell he really wanted to provide for you.
wants
and
to
be
make
there
it
for
work.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, I like that. 'Cause
That's something in the room that we discussed just in terms
Yeah.
of dimensionalizing all characters
Right.
and showing people with their flaws, but showing them just as human. And we don't want any tropes. Like even with Tasha, her character could have easily been like, the one who's just like the Jezebel, but she's superhuman. You see her
Yes.
be vulnerable, but when she
Yes.
shoots her shot
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doesn't get the
Yeah.
misses,
Yeah.
you feel for her.
Yeah,
because
she
she's
does.
just like. It's hard out here, and I see a good man, and
Yes.
I want, and he seems to be giving me vibes back.
Yeah.
So,
But
okay,
even
he has
the-
a girlfriend.
Even the thing with Thug Yoda,
Oh,
like
yeah.
with him
Oh.
having his daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That was
Yes.
based off of actually me being in Inglewood. There's a stupid post office that's only open from 11 to 3. So whenever I miss a package, I have to go to this post office,
wow.
and they only let 2 people in at a time. So there's always a line of people outside. So I go to this post office, and it takes forever, and I'm standing behind this dude who has on like these Gucci loafers, a wife beater, and these shorts, and he's holding his daughter's hand, and he's on the phone like cussing somebody out, like I can't even reenact, but it's like, and don't ever come for me, cause I swear to God, like this, I don't play no games. And then every like 5 minutes, hey baby, you good? Okay, you hungry, Dad? Daddy will get you, babe. Okay, love you. So let me tell you what it is. And it was like, this is so beautiful. I love this is us.
And
You know? This is us. And so I was saying
It's
that in the
real.
writers' room,
Yeah.
and then just in conversations, the idea of like Yoda came up, and Tristan is just the perfect
Oh,
person
he's
to play.
good.
He's so
Perfect.
understated,
He was
and
here
you
last
believe
week.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you too for having a black man and a black woman, because we often don't see that as black women, because the numbers of black on black relationships are, it's hard for black women
They
being
exist.
single. Yeah.
They exist.
They-
There
and
are
they
so
stay
many-
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. A lot of my friends
Rarely.
are, in healthy black couple relationships, and it's out there, and you would think that it isn't just because of
But
the
we see
media,
on television.
and
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
the numbers game.
But they're real. They're out there.
Well,
Yeah.
telling the
Definitely.
stories is really important, right?
It
to
is.
show the world and to
Yeah.
show everyone of like what normal is or can be, or
Right.
like just because you don't see it in your neighborhood doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right.
Well, I see
Yeah.
this show being a movie.
Yeah.
Like
a
an
movie?
actual movie. Yes, it's like dope.
No, I like it as a show, because then you get thirsty, like the next
Oh, and that's
episode.
Insecure too. That can
Yeah.
be Insecure.
I can't do all that. I do like television because
I do
Yeah.
too.
I like the people. There's so many more stories you can tell. It's so
Yeah,
funny. I
that's
was
true.
saying that like movies right now, like Moonlight is the first movie I went to go see in theaters, and like
It's a great
since
movie.
February. And I used to go to the movies all the time, but there's something about like even if I'm on Netflix, I'm like, do I want to watch a movie? That's too long.
Long.
Like, do I want to
Yes.
spend 2 hours of my time watching a movie, or do I want to like take my time with 12 hours of a television show?
Isn't that funny?
It's
I
just
think the
something
exact same thing. I don't want to watch a movie, but oh my God, I'll binge in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I get sucked in on a great TV
Oh,
show,
God,
and I'm
yes.
just like there.
Just
wanna
because they
be
don't
immersed
have to
in a
wrap it
world.
up in 90 minutes, in 2
Yeah.
hours. It's like everything is too prescribed.
I like to stay and like live with these characters.
Sure.
in the world.
But we're excited about season 2.
Yeah,
The
me
announcement
too.
last
Congratulations.
week. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes. Yes.
Shout out.
Yes, you've got to be feeling pretty good.
It's thanks to everybody watching and spreading the word. So yeah, we're just excited to be able to do it again and bring new stories.
And shout out to your beautiful mom.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
She would be so happy for that.
And the
Yes.
fact that the
She's so
director,
cute.
the fact that the director was like, "You gonna have to give your mom
Yes.
some
She
lines."
was like, you better stop
Yeah.
playing and give your mom a speaking role. I was like, oh, fine.
And she was such a natural.
She's
Did she want to do it like with
She
the
was
lines?
so hyped. Oh my
Was she?
God. She was she got nervous, of course, close. And who made her feel comfortable was the woman who plays Joanne, Katherine Curtin. She was, in the scene with her, and she just made her feel good. And they were like best friends by the end of
Yeah.
it. She was like, I made a new friend. But she had a really good time.
That's good.
So Issa, I have to ask, I can see your face from my house. On Sunset. So I'm in West Hollywood and I
Oh, I
can
was
see
like,
you.
that literally went. I was like, you can see her face.
I can see your face from right outside my apartment. I wanted to know, what does that feel like? Does it feel, is it just, what is that like?
I definitely had a moment, when I saw the billboard for the first time.
Yeah.
Like,
On Sunset.
You know what I like? What you
On
said
Sunset.
at the premiere. When you
What?
you
Oh, my-
said, thank you for putting my regular ass
My
face
regular
all
ass
over
face.
Los Angeles. I love
Kinda
that.
crazy,
That was
yeah.
like great. It was a
Regular
great
ass
moment.
Did you see that
thank
GIF we did? Did you see that boomerang we did of y'all?
Oh, that was so good. It was like spot on.
should've saw us in that
I
corner.
loved
You
it.
cannot
should've saw us
imagine
in
how
that
long
corner.
that took.
That took forever.
Yeah.
So
Because
good.
the DP,
That would be
we were having some problems with the DP.
So we were like
Okay.
this.
Loki, I was struggling when I did it too.
Madison. And I'm back there like,
It was hard to do. We did a couple of them. We actually asked because I couldn't get the angles. I was like,
Yes,
guys,
it's hard getting everybody in
yeah,
there. See?
and the billboard.
You feel me.
I
You
know.
totally feel
DP
me.
struggles.
so I have
Absolutely.
a question. With casting for the characters that was playing the other, like white characters, that were like Joanne and
Yeah.
everyone like that. How was that process?
We just had them audition, and they, cause like Lisa was one of
Like,
our.
there's some other process.
Different process.
Well-
Did you make them do a race?
Here's the thing, though.
Did they do an obstacle course?
Text message. Was there a secret black
Was there a
text
Q&A?
message?
Was there a Q&A? My thing is just like with those actors that came and auditioned, how about that?
Yeah.
Like I was really wondering like if they really knew what they were walking into. Like did they because like even when like we loved having her in the show, and our first question on the very first show was, do you have black friends?
Ooh.
You know?
Real ones. Then we had to break it down.
Yeah.
We were like real black friends,
black
not the
friends.
Yeah.
Oreo black friends,
Yeah,
but the real
real
ones.
ones.
And
Yeah.
I was like, they're probably all Oreos. But I love them anyway. Doesn't matter.
And then we tripped you out with, okay, so have they really been to your house?
Yeah.
Ooh, and they have.
Yes.
So
Well,
you clearly passed the test.
yeah.
You made it.
I made it.
Shout out to you.
So I was just wondering if those actors and actresses were like, well, you all go just by actors now, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
I didn't know that was a
You said
thing.
I heard
actors, actresses?
Well, I heard
Or
that everyone just wanted to be called actors. now.
actors.
Oh, okay.
So,
I wasn't privy to that
so like,
discussion.
was it
Paycheck
easy
cash
for
is
them
the
to?
same. So.
Okay.
I know.
I'll be whatever.
Right.
I think for me, I just want to know, was it easy for them to really be that character?
I think
know
for
you can act that character, but
Some
really
was
be the
easier
character.
than others.
Yeah.
I think, like, even with someone like Lisa totally got Frida from the minute she was like, oh my gosh, I know this girl, and, you know, I might be related to some girl. You know, like,
Right.
But she, you know, and it just, she's one of those actresses that I love watching on the screen because she just does above and beyond, and she
Yeah.
makes her a human person. Like, at the end of this,
Yeah.
this series, you're like, I want to be friends with Frida. And
Yeah.
she just, she means well. So I think just in terms of keeping that conversation open, and obviously as actors, they have questions, and so we're just sure to give them answers whenever, you know, necessary. But
Yeah.
I think people grasp it for the most part.
Were they really asking what is on fleek?
Some, they knew better not to. They were like, I was honestly gonna ask, and then I Googled it.
Like
So you taught me something. Which is what you should do in the first place. I do it all the time.
Totally, all the time.
One of my other favorite scenes. Go ahead.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
wanted to ask you about your hair because I know Felicia Leatherwood
she
is
does
like
that.
key
Yes,
in doing
Felicia.
natural hair. So, what was like the conscious choice for you? Because I've had people ask me, why is Yvonne not wearing her natural hair? And I was like, I think oftentimes as black women, you have you got to split between the two. You could have the natural hair, but then when you're doing something back to back to back, because I think I saw you were doing. It was like a 9-hour shoot, and she was doing your hair again.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
for a lot of
that's-
different scenes.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of work, but she kills it.
She does.
She absolutely kills it. So was that a conscious choice for you that I am going to wear my natural hair
For sure.
every episode?
I think also because it's just me.
Yeah.
You know, and then the character is, for the most part, me, and I wear my hair naturally. And for Molly's character, it's based off of like a real friend of mine
You
who
did say
happens to, you know, wear her hair straight for the most part. And, you know, that's just, it's not even a statement thing. It's just like that's, black women wear their hair differently.
Yes.
And we're friends with each other, and there's no like judgment. It's just a choice. Sometimes
Yo,
you
that little
are.
girl had to let you have it though in the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
Is that
She
true?
really-
Is that?
They were all brutal.
They were.
Those kids are the sweetest in the world, and you never know that. They really hurt my feelings. I was like, y'all just acting right. Dang.
Because
They
I
were
could
so
be doing
sweet.
for you.
I know.
They were good.
Dang, I couldn't
They were
believe
so
it.
cute.
They were the best.
She ain't got no boyfriend.
I know. Yeah. I was gonna say earlier, one of my other favorite scenes was on the beach.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you're standing there in your shades and you're looking out and the kids are on the beach playing and your peer turns to you and says, "Why don't they swim more?" I love the way you just turned
The way you
around.
turned, because we couldn't see your eyes.
Yeah.
So we could just imagine what your eyes
Laser.
like.
Yeah.
Fire. Laser.
We reenacted that scene on the stage.
We
Y'all reenacted?
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, we did.
I love it.
And
Yeah.
we did the when Yvonne ran into the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
I
did
saw
that.
that one. That was hilarious.
Hilarious.
It was really on point. It got cut off though, right?
It was
Yeah,
did a little
hilarious.
bit.
Yeah, the
It was
editing.
hilarious.
Blame it on the editor. I was the DP editor.
You killed it though.
I
You killed it. That split
The
screen
way
was
I
perfect.
see, you understand when
You
it
had the skill.
You
Yes.
knew what it took,
Yes, I
right?
did.
Yes, and I
Yes, I
did
did.
that. I did that.
Good night. So we have
Thank you.
one more episode for this season. For the next season, what are some things we're looking to, without telling?
I
but
don't know
telling?
that I can tell you
we get
without
10
telling.
episodes?
No, we don't want to
We're
know.
definitely getting 10 episodes.
I mean, no, I mean, as
That's
far
a
as
win.
like, what are we gonna see Issa change in a good way or a bad way? We see like, people changing.
think we gotta wait
Yes,
for
and yes.
I can tell you, this is a series about like the growth.
Yeah.
So it's a
Okay.
series about like a journey. These characters are clearly on a journey to discovering themselves, and I feel like there's a very finite story. It's not like I'm not about like going for 7 to 10 seasons. That's
Yeah.
just not type of. I feel like there's a specific story to be told in a limited amount of time, and you're gonna see a growth from start to finish.
Okay.
And what a great place to do that on HBO.
Oh yeah, yes,
There's
absolutely.
just couldn't be a better home for Insecure,
Yes.
don't you
Yeah.
think?
Oh my gosh, it's just a dream come true, and they're very supportive just in terms of the story that they want that we want to tell, and they're just as excited as we are. So you can't ask for anything more.
So with Color Creative, I know you have some really interesting projects. Like I watched Bleach, which I thought was really interesting. Very, very interesting characters. Like I didn't see a lot of stuff coming. So with Color Creative and those 3 trailer projects that you're doing, is the hopes for these projects to eventually make it to television? Is that the goal?
Yeah, we have a 3-tier. So we're basically about like just trying to break new and upcoming writers, people who are super talented but don't have a way into the industry. So our model of success is like 3-tiered for the most part. One is like getting them representation. That's a level of success, which we've been able to do for the most part for a lot of our writers. The second is to get them staffed on a show, and the third is to that's the holy grail, to like get their series made or get their pilots made. So we that was one instance, and then that was what we did independently, and since then we've been partnering with other production companies and initiatives just on the diversity end to be like, hey, you said you can't find any writers, but here are some upcoming talented writers here.
I have to ask you guys a question because I get mad when I'm riding around town and every billboard is for another white movie, another white show, and I'm bored of it. Like, I'm personally bored, but being aware, I realize a lot of people aren't aware. But every billboard comes up, I'm like, oh, great, another just same old. And this, we have the Oscars come, and it's always Oscars so white. What you're doing from the ground up is obviously how this is going to change. But is there any other way? Like, I'm so in awe of what you're doing because it's actual grassroots change that will eventually get to the top. But what do we do in the meantime? How do we get, I'm a white person that's bored with all of these stories. I want to see real people. I live in LA because I like diversity. But it's not happening.
I think just
We're
by
not
supporting
fast
the
enough.
shows that are here, because there are a lot of shows online,
Yeah.
for example. Like, that's kind of where I would say that a renaissance started.
Yes.
And now there is
Yes.
a renaissance on television and film. And I think that there's...
And when you say
it's just-
support, you mean like tweet and watch and...
Yeah, tell people about it.
Yeah.
Tell people who
Go
are...
support Issa's channel, Color Creative.
Oh, yeah,
The
that's
Peak
great.
is another
Right.
one.
Yeah,
You got
absolutely.
a podcast series, The Fruit. So
Right.
But even just outside of me, there's so many other content creators who are just
Yeah,
killing
they're-
it and
right.
just
Yeah.
telling people who are, like your friends, and who will tell other people who are tired of seeing like the same
Same old
stories.
thing.
Same
over
Yeah.
stories
over
over
again.
and over.
But I think people are being very vocal about, and just even in the success of a lot of these newer shows, it's clear that people are like, oh, this is a new perspective, and this is a
Yes.
new lens. I want to see this. So I'm excited. I'm optimistic.
I'm very excited. I love
Yeah.
First. That is one of
Oh
my,
my
like,
gosh,
First is
I'm,
great.
I'm ready for the next season.
That's a
like,
great one.
Jamila
There's
Biggs
news
is-
coming with that.
Please, like
Jamila Biggs is amazing.
it's like the new Love Jones for me. Like
It
I feel
is.
like
That was
it's
her
like-
inspiration.
It shows.
It's a modern day
Yeah.
Love Jones, and I
That was a good
love,
movie.
amazing.
Yeah, First is
amazing.
great.
Yeah, I want to
Great.
see it, so I can't wait. So I'll stay tuned, and I will definitely be supporting Issa Rae. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. Y'all are so dope. Thank you for doing this
Thank
week
you.
to week. I can't wait to see what y'all think about the
Yeah.
finale.
I know.
I can't believe these 8 weeks have just like blown
Fast.
by.
They
Super
have.
fast.
Yeah.
Absolutely fast.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. So I'm Madison Chase, and you have been watching HBO Insecure, episode number 7. So watch us episode number 8. We may have somebody here in studio. I won't spoil
Giving
the
it away
surprise.
again. Don't ever surprise me.
Well, no, it's good. You didn't know. I mean, it could have been Oprah. Issa's like Oprah. She's the Oprah of web series, so that's what I was
That's
going
true.
with
There you
that.
go. Oh, I
So,
see.
bam. Yeah, you see where I was going? Okay, so you can find me on Twitter at Madison Chase Fitz.
Hi, I'm Paula Bryant Ellis. I was going to say hi. I'm Paula Bryant Ellis. Thanks for watching. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, P. Bryant Ellis.
Nice. And you can find me on all social media handles as well as Cortez G West. And where can we find you, Oriana?
You can find me on Twitter at Miss Oriana Leo or Instagram at Oriana Leo. Also check out Tilt by Oriana. It's my fitness business. And I won't be here next week, so
Bye, Felicia.
I'm so sad. I'll be making some money.
Good luck.
Okay.
Yeah. But
We got to know where to find
Yes,
you.
Issa Rae on everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Issa Rae on
Simple.
everything.
way to
Simple.
keep it simple.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, thank
Thanks
you.
for having
Thank
me,
you.
guys. Thank you
It's
so
just
much.
awesome.
Great show.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram me @KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.